Good morning. First card out I see is the King of Cups. So King of Cups is a water sign typically, but cups in general just means love. You do have somebody in your life that is falling in love with you. Or you're falling in love with somebody. Some of you guys might want to offer your love to somebody. That's cute. It says you're going to lead this idea to victory for whoever I'm talking to. And you have the 10 of Wands in the reverse, which is great because this load is too much for one person. Somebody's been doing all of the work. They also have a history with somebody coming up as the Queen of Swords here. This person may be very protective. This person does look like they're going to be very protective over you. They are not suffering from a broken heart. They're not grieving anybody from the past. They are ready for love. I feel like this person has been evaluating or analyzing this love interest for at least 3 months, and you are making a final determination that you think you could actually see yourself with this person. You're not the type of person, for whoever I'm speaking to, that moves very quickly, and you take love very seriously. You're a loyal and you're a dedicated lover. So anybody that honestly gets to have you as their lover is lucky. And I hope that you know that. I'm gonna draw a dick, see how it contours. I don't even contour. I'm like making this shit up. Should I draw a smiley face on this side? And a fucking fuck off on this side. That way if anybody makes me mad through the day, I can give them one cheek or the other. Somebody might be a dumbass bitch, around you. It happens. In my opinion, if you're dealing with that kind of shit, the amount of time that you honestly spend giving a crap is how it's gonna bother you for. Some of you guys are disrespected pretty regularly by somebody in your life, or you're disrespected by the fact that you think about it all of the time. An old memory of somebody's coming up, and is that the one I want? Okay. An old memory is coming up for somebody. For somebody, you continue to think about a past relationship. Until you don't do that anymore, the universe has to actually protect anybody that you are interested in from falling in love with you, because that's not fair to them. So, if you feel as though you've been single for a while, but you can at least be honest quietly with yourself right now and admit, hey, you know what? I do. I think about Martha. I think about Beth. I think about Jen. I think about whoever the fuck it is from the past, right? That's fine. They were meaningful to you. Nobody's saying you can't. But when you think about loving the next person, is that fair to them that you wander back and forth between the thoughts of what could have been with another person? You got to be respectful, and the universe expects that from all of us. So that's just something that you can know within yourself, like, hey, you know what? I do. I think about this person all the fucking time, and I see what you're saying. Because you can't expect somebody to be faithful and loyal to you when in your thoughts you're not being faithful to them. Even wandering off and enjoying the memory of another person that you used to have a very serious love relationship with, or you always wonder how it could have been between you and this other person. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's something wrong with the fact that you would imagine yourself with another person while trying to engage in a new relationship. So you can't commit sins just like everybody else. And some of you guys are actually angry because somebody that you missed from the past left you and went towards another direction, another love interest, or you feel like you were ghosted and you don't understand why. Well, you got to find closure on that. You can't just substitute it. You can't just move forward because you're clearly not over it. And as frustrating as it is to honestly sit there and daze off and remember a time in your life that is no more, the point here is that whatever it was that happened that day or those years or those months, either one of you processed and perceived the wrong way and you haven't actually figured out what the purpose was truly for that event, or it's not actually over yet, and you might need to return and actually redo part of that chapter a different way completely, actually re-engage. So you got to figure out what it is, that's holding you back. Is it the memory and the obsession, that you still have for this past event? Is it that you maybe reacted wrong and you need to go back in and actually treat this person in a different way to close it out? Apologize, possibly. Is it that you're waiting for some kind of understanding, closure, or apology? Well, just because you want something from somebody doesn't mean that they're going to come back and have these realizations, you guys. It takes a lot of experience to get to a point where you understand. And the brain, it doesn't actually feel remorse for things that it's done until you're in your 40s. Did you know that? It can't actually feel true remorse. It's not, your brain is always developing, you guys. So if you want to do something fun, something that is really cool to do is go in and actually Google your age and your gender and ask, what does the human brain do when I'm a female at 26? What does the human brain do when I'm a male at 32? What is going on with the human body at this age when I'm this gender? And what that's going to do is it's going to tell you exactly what your brain is doing at this time. And that's just saying, for most time, the healthy average person who has not had trauma or drugs. If you're somebody who's went through drugs and trauma, your brain is altered and it's different. Hello, bitches. I love you. I love you. Hello. Anyways, so, yeah. 3 of Pentacles in the reverse. Something here that you've been working on, that's typically your work card. It's not working. Let's come up again. You guys have to just be honest with yourself and just say, it didn't work out. And some of you guys have, you're taking it personally. I feel like you think you didn't work out for some of you. No, I just said that, though, in my last read, that it could have been the beginning of this one, I don't know. But at one point today, I said, if you're working on a project, you're either coming about it in the wrong approach, or it's not for it yet, guys. It doesn't take somebody on average more than 2-3 times to figure something out. And repetition makes people great. So if by the 3rd time, no matter what, most of the time, from my experience as a teacher, my students, even the ones that are really challenging, they're interesting. Everyone has a different personality. Even this person that's here on this visit right now, on this date, never in my life have I seen this personality type. And that's why I love studying psychology. This person reminds me of somebody that I actually recently just met. And that's the cool thing about trusting the universe, is that so many times, I can't tell you how many times, the answers to my questions regarding the last chapters that I hadn't found closure on, I had to actually release to the universe and just be like, you know what? This is all the information I have right now. This is all the knowledge that I have right now. And as much as I want to do more, have more, or be more with these people or this time in my life, the truth is it's not working. I've learned so much, whether it was good or bad, and I've been changed every minute and of every day that I've been anything at all. And I'm grateful for those moments. You got two types of people, you know? The ones that are angry about it and the ones that are grateful. And they're just like, wow, that was such an amazing experience. You know, I really just gained so much wisdom. And something that I love out of everything that's super bad is the fact that you get to actually help another person through it now. And I just think that is such a phenomenal blessing to be able to do. So if you're not turning your pain into power by being there for people, and if you don't understand what manifestation truly is, which is what you think and what you feel, then you're not even you don't understand how to actually operate in this world. If what we get back is the same energy that we stew on inside of our body and our brain, what are you thinking about? What do you think about most of the time? And that's a simple way to just go about it, is think all the time, what are my thoughts? What are my thoughts? Because you can take responsibility for everything at that point. And until you do that, you're living a false life. You're living in a false illusion of what life is not for you. It's not that way. And you gotta accept that. And there's I'd say the first 2 decades, if not 3 of our lives, we don't know much about how things really truly work. And that's the cool thing about that part of your life. Even though you're like, man, I'm so mad, you know, this didn't work out, or this person didn't do, you know, they really surprised me with their behavior. Or, you know, it's 30s and under that you have all those experiences where you really put your heart out there and you trust and you're very vulnerable. And we all are born that way. Nobody's actually born with insecurity or hate or anger. It's actually stuff that's developed the whole time, you know, from every little experience. And even as a baby, when your parents are off to the side fighting and you just, you know, when you hear a loud noise, even, you know, the human body, it will always react to those things. And, you know, we make a lot of mistakes when we are young parents and we think they don't know what's going on, they're too young. That was one of the biggest mistakes we could have ever made, guys, is to actually think that people around us couldn't feel what we felt. I mean, it's obvious. When anybody walks into a room, if they're having a bad day, you can feel that energy. They ruin it, the whole damn room energy, and they just bring everybody around them down. And people can ask you over and over, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? And that's what I feel like goes on with some people here, is that you get asked all the time, are you okay? What's going on? And it almost seems like every time you answer, it's going to end up, it's like you have the same reoccurring issues. And for some of you guys, those issues are really old issues. So I feel like some of you guys are starting to feel a little bit of anger towards this, and the anger is actually worsening towards whatever it is that you missed from the past, because now you feel like you still don't feel like you have closure. you are not actually being open-minded to the fact that there's a possibility you perceived things in a way that is not working out in as far as closure goes. And it seems like for whoever I'm talking to right now, you have this very deep-rooted hate and anger for whoever what I'm hearing walked out on you. Somebody feels like somebody walked out on them. And I feel like a lot of what happened is that you had such a specific idea of what your relationship was going to look like and how these people were going to behave. And, you know, I realized this years ago. Not many of us actually begin relationships like an interview. And that's how it should really go. Is just, you know, you're looking at this other person and you sit down face to face and you honestly, it's not about what the fuck food you like to eat or where you work or what you do, honestly. I mean, that's cute and everything. But when you do an interview for love, you need to be thinking in your head, what are some of the things that people have done, honestly? And I don't typically say, let's talk about the past or focus on the past, but the reason why I think it's important is because there's some specific stuff that we know we really want to see in a relationship, but we got to be realistic. You can't be, oh, well, I want you to be at home doing all, you know, the reality of a dude having a woman, and this happens a lot, dude. This is why I fucking don't want anybody living with me again. But when you're with a man as a woman, typically both people are still working. I know I am. I don't get to just have all the finances available and, you know, live my life and shop and any of that shit. That's not how life is for us. In this day and age, more than likely, both people are working. And then the woman still has to do all the cleaning and cooking and the laundry and everything, you know what I mean? And I don't mind it. I'm just saying, basically, at the end of the day, your woman has fucking 2, 3, 4 jobs, depending on how many kids they push out as well. Their body is different, they change. And honestly, I don't get a lot of appreciation for that shit. People also don't really enjoy love. They want to move really fast. And you want to talk about how serious things are going to get really fucking quickly. Well, that's how fucking fast your love is going to get boring. And the only thing cool about love is that you enjoy it most of the time at first. And then it just gets normal and more normal. And it's just like when you buy a brand new car. You've been saving up for a long fucking time. Finally got your car. Dent comes, you know, maybe somebody runs into it in the parking lot. You're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? That's the first thing. You know, maybe this and this and this. Somebody spills something, you know, stains your seat, you know, that's love too. No matter what it is that we have going on in our life, you could just think about Mortal Kombat and the Lifeline. When it's green, everybody starts off with green. And then, or you can think about like a cup of water. And every time something negative happens, that looks pretty, dude. What the fuck? It's nice. Wow. It's fancy. But yeah, it's like if a cup of water, you know, keeps getting hit and spilled. That's so beautiful. I like it. Wow. Delightful. I never know what I'm going to do or look like. But yeah, I see that honestly for some of you guys, you are coming up as the king caps. You have a lot of love to give. Your victory is here. The workload being released is here. But Queen of Swords, I don't know if somebody honestly still is in your life that tells you a lot of shit and what to do. This could be a parent or even your ex if your baby mama. But for some of you guys, you have power. Somebody has power over you. And basically the reason why you're not having luck with your new life or your new love is, for one, some of you guys are still attempting to be with somebody or try something with somebody or hoping that somebody's going to return into your life that's gone. And your obsession with it has actually become the bigger problem. Or because you're just honestly not being, you know, truly authentic. And you need to be authentic. If you walk in anywhere and you just have this front or this demeanor that you do or use, people that you're interested in, they don't like that kind of shit because they're the same as you. So if you notice that somebody else is being fake and shit, they could see the same damn shit within you. Basically, you're going to manifest the level of intelligence more than likely that you are. And that doesn't mean that they're going to be living in that intelligence at that moment, but what it means is all the skills that you've acquired, you can manifest at any time into your life based off of who you're being at that moment. Even if you have this or that coming, let's say like you don't steal at this time in your life, but you used to rob houses. Karma actually waits until whatever you wanted to happen in your life occurs. Did you know that? That karma, it knows what your biggest dreams are. So take a moment and just think to yourself, like, what is something that I've always dreamed of having? Whether it's marriage, it's a baby, it's buying a home, whatever your biggest dream is. You know, mine has always been my family having what they need and being taken care of. And they're so stubborn that I just feel like, well, how I've been approaching it, which is the way that I've been, see this dream, that's my dream. My dream is to be able to take care of my mom and everybody in my family. And it's not realistic for me. And my reads have been coming up multiple times saying straight up, dude, you gotta stop with that shit. It specifically even quoted what I wanted to do for my family, which is buy them a new house. I've always wanted that my whole life. And obviously, I am limited on funds, and that's where this entertainment experience is coming in, and it's really exciting to consider, you know, having workout. If we can make more money for the whole family, you know what I mean? They don't have to worry anymore is my mindset. But to be honest, guys, my family doesn't even support these videos. They hate them, and they forbid them, and they say I'm sinning by doing them. So if we're being honest, would the universe say to do anything for people that didn't support our goals and dreams? No, they fucking would not. It says straight up that if anybody disrespects you on this journey, cut them the fuck out of your life without explanation about nothing, because we're not here to fucking explain ourselves. We've been. It's time for people to have already listened, and whatever information you've given somebody, that's what they have to work with now. You will not be backtracking and re-explaining to nobody. And every time you do that, you can know that you're falling behind, falling behind, falling behind. So if you're somebody who has the skills or the potential to do more or be more, and you're just not where you want to be, it's because you're settling for a lesser mental and emotional vibration. And every time your mind picks up old memories, you stew on that memory to the point where you're putting out so much negative thinking that your karma load is becoming thicker and longer every time. You gotta release it, and you gotta accept things. And you also have to be honest and accountable. You can't be like, it was their fault and I did nothing. That's very unlikely, guys. I'll tell you what I do wrong in my relationships. I don't communicate very easily, and I don't listen. And I curse. And I like to do whatever the fuck I feel like, which is fucking pretty much just make videos and blog and talk shit, but it could be worse. But, you know, like I said, when it comes to a man having a woman, guys, that means we pretty much serve our man, and we also have a job and we go to work. And we do everything that everybody else is doing, plus 2-3 extra jobs. And then we start to actually fade away and notice our partner kind of drifting mentally in and out of what they actually would like to have the feeling of again, which is a new experience, guys. That exciting feeling that you feel, it's just the new experience. It's just like anything that you go to. You're excited. You're like, oh my gosh, we're going to the ocean. Oh my gosh, we're going here. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. The oh my gosh is a normal experience. And you get that with new things, obviously. So sometimes people are just really hard on themselves, and they're not really just understanding how experiences stimulate our bodies. Quit making it all about the person involved or you involved, and start just understanding that everything that we experience, it is temporary. And it's a blessing. And it's not for us to keep. It says straight up that true love means that you love that thing for what it is, and that you learn how to enjoy the moment with the understanding straight up that it will exit your life at random whenever the fuck it does. And if people started just seeing things like that, they would enjoy things for more than what it is that people use the term of, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine. That's never actually been a good statement to hear. That's mine. We've always taught everybody to share and to be fair. So, if you actually are holding yourself back by thinking about an event or a relationship that's no more, you're sinning because you're keeping your true soulmate from you, and that's not fair to them. And you're also energetically still connecting with somebody that is not for you as well, which is binding them to you. It's affecting them. Whether they reach out to you or not, they can feel your energy also. And if you think it in a negative way, it has to be returned to you. However many minutes you're positive, however many minutes you're negative, it will be returned. So you know that amount of time. And it adds up fast. So it doesn't matter how long ago it was. Some of us receive karma years down the road. It's time you start understanding how our thinking and our actions and our mindsets cause this delayed and ongoing effect into our 40s, 50s, to the point where we're aged and uglier, and we start being more insecure, and then we doubt if we can even be in relationships or if we're worthy even worse of love. So snap out of it and just know that, you know what, you're amazing, bro. And the right person will see that in you, but you first have to know that about yourself.